Hello viewer, this project is on web surfing profile analysis with recommendation for security and ethical usage, and the domain is web development. The project members are Ajay Singh Patel, Gaurav Kumar and Neeraj Chaurasiya. Internal guide is Dr. Dhilip, Ph.D. External guide is Dr. K.R.T. Ph.D. Associate Professor. Introduction of the project. This project is to make a Chromium extension which will help end user for web surfing monitoring. The web surfing monitoring means what all the user does on the internet, it is made a history on the browser. So it will take all the detail from the history and monitor it for the user. This browser plugin written using web languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML is for the static, CSS is for design, and JavaScript for the randomness and the dynamic part of the extension. This extension is to provide monitoring and recommendation to user and provide info like security monitoring, recommendation for safety, website monitoring, censored and unsafe web warning. This extension will give user a warning when they are traversing to unsafe website, and it will show some security features and security monitoring and the recommendation. Functionalities, website monitoring. When a user will go through a website, it will monitor and it will take it from the history. The history monitoring. When a user will categorize its link, what all things he or she has gone through on the browser, it will take it from history and classify it on the transition like reload, link and typed, all the things. Time-based categorization. In this extension we have categorized the history in two types, like in 24 hours, that is the day, and the week, last 7 days. The basic security management and recommendation. We have taken the consideration of basic security like is your address enabled, your credit card enabled, your do not track is enabled or not. This type basic security that user lacks and doesn't pay attention, that we have taken in our consideration. Censored and unsafe website warning. When a user will go through unsafe website, like if the website is banned by Government of India, it will notify the user that it is banned by Government of India by the notification. So website monitoring. Extension is able to provide information about site. Extension can retrieve the security information and trust level of the website. It basically says that it will monitor your link, whatever you are traversing, and give you information about its security. History monitoring. This extension will be capable for analysis of history and active time and date for website, so it can be easily retrieved by end user without collecting their personal data. Time-based categorization. As I told you, it will classify on the two types, like the day and the last 7 days. Basic security management and recommendation. Extension provides the security measures and recommendation that will very easy for user to surf the internet without much difficulties. It will give an overall glimpse of the basic security, what you have configuration you have on the browser, and this browser only conforms to Chromium based browsers. Censored and unsafe website warning. So here comes how the development took take place. This was developed on a Chromium based APIs, and the basic APIs they used are tabs API, history API, privacy API, top sites API, notification API, and browser action. I will go through all these API one by one. Tabs API. Tabs API means the what all API involved in making a tab, sandboxing that tab, traversing the link, and taking care of the link what is going through, and the SSL certification of that site which we are traversing. So it contains all detail about the tab. And the history API. It is used for maintaining the history of the browser. Whatever we go in the history and see, that is maintained by this API. Privacy API. Although we can relate the word privacy like website privacy, your browser privacy, all those things which we talk about in computer science, it's done under privacy API. Top sites API. It is an interesting API that is more developed on Chromium based browsers. It calculates the site which you have gone in the past, how much time you have spent, and it is done by the browser. User cannot interfere in the top site API, although we can give our JSON configuration in privacy history and tabs for manipulating the APIs, but we can't do in top site. We have to just receive the data what we get from browsers. Notification API. Notification is used to notify the user for the banned website, censored and uncensored, which I talked earlier. The browser action, all those things which happen in front of us in the browser. Notification, then we click, then something happens. These all the browser actions. It is not related to any specific pages. If something is related to pages, that will be page action, not browser action. So if we close, open any extension we go through, that is browser action. So what are minimum requirement for hardware to run for our extension, and the software, like which Chromium browser we can use? CPU minimal Intel Core i3 6th generation 1.8 gigahertz quad core, or it is the minimum, like as we know the browsers use hardware acceleration and the GPUs, graphical processing unit, for its minimal usage and giving the more accurate precision of CSS and the bootstrap. Video card, as I talked about GPUs, these are the minimum requirements. For it depend upon what all video card you are using. The minimum is Radeon HD 3600, NVIDIA GeForce 6800 GT, which 256 MB of virtual RAM, video RAM, sorry. RAM 1 GB minimum requirement. OS Windows Vista, Service Pack 1, Windows 7, 8 or 10 we can use it. Minimum free disk space for browsers to install is 10 GB, and for smooth working, that like we can store data, its minimum is 10 GB. Browser required Chromium and Chromium based browsers, and we can use Microsoft Edge also nowadays, because it has shifted to Chromium based browsers, but still it is in development. In future we can use it on it. It has been tested on this browser. So general architecture, we collect, as I talked about in the tabs API, that we can collect the URL. So we collect the URL from there, then it parses from the browser engine and is provided to our extension. Then extension collect those URL and we capture the domain name for targeting the censored and uncensored websites. Then we check the active time, that is done by history. The malicious server, we have our own database that take the domain name from here and check that it is malicious or not. And we have our own repository that is offline, that it will take it from here and notify. And local cache storage is the browser cache storage, which collects all data that keep our extension and the history, as it is categorized local cache storage. If there is a malicious, it will go for the action display, it will give a notification, or if you click it, it will go by action display, that is under browser action API. If you click the main extension of that icon, then it will give you a profile, what you have used, top sites, basic security recommendation. These are the recommendation for the securities, and this all interacted by the browsers user interface. We can't see anything without user interface. It is graphical user interface basically. So this is the general architecture, taking the URL, going traversing through it, maintaining in the history, making a cache storage like history, and cache storage also deals with our database, action display, profile, and also to user. This is activity diagram. So it will give a description how it works. So our extension installed here from the store. Then the background page, the main page that works every tab. It will capture the tab, URL extraction, it will matching. If it is censored website, that it can't be used, so it will turn on the badge texture event, that will notify you. And this is the user. It will go to the user that you can't traverse through this. So if it is nothing, then it will normally the site will work. Notification UI event will given to us, and the badge texture will change to notify. So user interface badge icon, and this path shows that if you click the extension, The user interface will be triggered and it will show the badge icon, and it will show in the badge texture event. Again they really change. I will show you in the execution how it works. So pop up. So now here history access and the privacy access, like we talked about the history privacy APIs. Here privacy will consider all those configurations which we have coded in the extension. It will take all those security measurement. It will read only, we can't change. So we have taken the basic security for not breaching the privacy of the user. So it will take all the data collection and will manipulate it, so making a more readable format for the user, and will pop up the UI, and the user will read all those data from the our extension. These are the basic procedure going on in the background. It's very procedural and easy to understand. These are the outputs. As you can see, this is our text, this is our extension. It is showing badge icon, that is U means use. It green symbol, that is ready to use, and it is normal sites. This is the top used URLs, privacy recommendation. If the alternate page enabled is off, means alternate page it can't go. Like a user will not have any idea, a browser will not have any idea where to go. Not alternate page enabled. Then it will show you that please toggle it in your setting to get the best of your browsing experience. This is the user interface. Basic security. This is security card. Like see, you can read password saving enabled, safe browsing enabled, search suggest enabled, third party cookies enabled, do not track enabled. This in my browser, see, do not track is not enabled, it is off. Now any website without my permission can guide, means track me and take my location, geolocation. So if I change it from there, it will show on and all things will be done. These are the basic criteria of the browsers. This all data has been collected, and we have categorized the security in such a way that it covers major aspect of the security. So limitations. Accuracy of the blocking unsafe website is depending upon updated list of government. As I told you, our data is offline, it is embedded in the extension. So all the data is offline, so we cannot update as when the government update today. If the government update the list, so we're not able to know. We have to do it manually. The most used website list is capable of only showing up to some thousand of histories. The website list is capable of showing only some thousand of history. We have limitation on the numbers of histories. We cannot access and store all those unlimited data, and we can't. It will make the browser slow and extension slow. It will take a lot of processing. That's why browser uses GPUs. If the end user keep open one tab constantly, then accuracy of extension will differ. Like if history is collected from the cache memory. If I have opened the pop-up, it is not dynamic extension, and extensions can't be dynamic. So we have to make like event to occur to update itself. It can't update itself. Proposed system is not capable of showing the time of tab open. We can track only the date, not the time when the tab was open. This is the limitations, and the user can't do, and the developer also can't do, because it's not provided. The timestamp is not provided by the browser, because it is totally overhead, because no one is going to track that time. The extension is unable to show the data for another browser. If the data is on another type of browsers like Firefox, Opera, then we can't consider for the data. The cloud model can be implemented so that we can retrieve the data anywhere. This is the major limitations. Like we can't our data is not dynamic. So in the further we will try to explain it more. So efficiency of proposed system, how our system works and how much efficient it is, how you can take most of it to benefit themselves. The proposed extension is successfully running in all the Chromium browser with old and latest updates. It will run in mostly Chromium browsers supported by the Chromium community. The extension is very responsive upon the web page loading and quickly shows the full result upon loading. As I told you, the Chromium browser are fast. Until date, it is the fastest browser, and it uses GPU and the codecs made for the rendering the process of images, and graphical things. So it makes the web loading fast. User interface is simple. Extension can capture very quickly and give notification to user. User can know instant. And it is this the extension capturing is live, so user can get a instant notification. History detection is very accurate in capturing the web browser data and is capable to show user in very efficient way, as we have done time categorization and type categorization. Like I will show you that it is time categorization means one day and the week, what you have traversed on your browser in 1 week or day, and further we categorize now linked, tagged and blocked, these all types. Advantage of the project: to keep track of surfing habit of the end user, so the user can manage their time and surfing habits. If users see what all they are traversing, what all dates they have traversed these links, what all they have typed, what all they are searching, so user can control itself. The major concern about this project is for internet health, as we know we are moving towards the digital era, and digital era wants to know that the more time we spend with something, the site goes both ways. If we are utilizing internet utilizing us. In both ways things happen. The extension can show notification about unsafe and censored website, so user will get a warning before visiting it. History and date time profile is given in two separate lists and can easily be toggled by clicking on it. So the separate profiles are today and this week. As I talked to you about time categorization, user will get to know how much they have traversed in today, in last 24 hours and last 7 days. The data is made in 4 categorization, like linked, what are links you have clicked, then typed, what all URL you have typed in the omni box that is present on the top of the browser. The reload, how many times you have reloaded the page, the first time the page was reloaded and the last time you have visited, this all will be shown. And the block, what all sites was blocked while you traversed. Thank you. Now I will show you the execution and demo of the project. So now our project is stored on the Chrome store. We have uploaded it, so we will download it from there. The name is Internet Surfing Profile. If you search on the Chrome store, it will show you. I am using the Microsoft Edge Chromium based browsers. It is already in development, it is not been public, so you can see now. I am adding to my Chrome, add extension. If I open my page, this is the overview. The extension will access history to show you usage and URL to recommend ethical usage of internet. The extension shows history by classifying on typed URL, clicked URL, blocked URL by user, shows top URL to user, adult blocked sites by Government of India is notified when user opens. This is the third version, last updated 28th April 2019, size is 40 KB. The language English and developer is this one. So I got 4 stars. This is in the productivity category. Now I will show you the extension. See, this is the extension details. You can allow in private mode also, but I will not do so because it depends upon the user. They want to breach their privacy or not. And now this is our extension. So like if I open Google, see, this is the usable format. Like if I click here, it will show my URL. Like I have used YouTube, then I have gone to torrent, my inbox, Gmail, Google, TV torrents, Bing. This is my website, Linux Tutor, GitHub. These sites. This is the sites we have traversed. I have traversed recent and the most of the time I have spent. Like I mostly watch YouTube. The privacy and recommendation. Like say browsing is not enabled. and do not track is enabled. If I disable this one, it will give my so that it is not enabled. If I go in settings, I will search for do not track. Do not track request. See, this is do not track request. If I disable it, now I will show you. It can work from anywhere. See, do not track. Toggle to safeguard yourself from web. I have toggle it. Send request. It will send every page that do not track me. Now see, do not track is enabled now. Is on. So this is the basic security user can get by seeing these classifications and the recommendation which we have given you, and it is marked by red so to gain the attention of the user. I told you these are top sites APIs, privacy API, and this is the click which is going on here. This is browser action API, and it is accessing the history API by capturing a tab. See, if I go here, this is you. It has already captured the tab, taken the URL and showing me that it is blocked. So now I click it. I will show you this is today. What are links I have gone through. These are the links. I have a lot of sites. I have clicked on the link today. I have typed these many things. Reload. What are things I have reloaded. And the block sites. No data. If I have nothing, there is no data. Now I will go through a block data. Like www. Please don't go this site. This is blocked government of India. This is an adult one. See, if I cancel it, I not open it. So rk.com, this is banned. I will get a notification that it is banned. So user will get to know that it is banned website. Now if I click it, browser action, now I'll check that what all block sites I have gone through. This is rk.com. I have got it. Today is the date 1/5/2019, and I am visiting this 4th time. And like this week blocked. See, means actually browser keep counts of what all site you have gone through. So this I have visited this site only 4th time. This is 4th because I am checking. I am doing the major project. So this is the 4th time I am showing and traversing through this site. So this is the demo, and user can take the most benefit out of it by using this extension, knowing about the URLs. You can, this is the internet surfing profile name, and the best thing about this is that it is free of cost. Nothing is charged from the user, and it gives a basic security and the introspection of the basically the introspecting the what you are doing on the internet. It will give you the all top sites you will go through. Means if you need some access, like instead of making tabs or you can say bookmarks, you can click here and see all this. If I go to YouTube, I will click YouTube, it will open it on another thing. If I click Google, it will open it Google. See, this is the most convenient way of making an extension. So this is the demo. I hope you liked it. Thank you.